Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
1. Introduction. The world of spying is changing. Countries now want business and technology secrets. They want to know how other countries make new things. This is because technology helps countries become strong and rich. The United States believes China is a big threat in this new kind of spying. Chinese government agencies try to get important information. They try to get military secrets and special business ideas from American companies. They use different ways to do this, including people and computers. This book tells the story of Su Yanjun. He was a spy from China. He worked for China's main spy group called the Ministry of State Security. This story explains how he was caught. It was a very important case. Su Yanjun was the first Chinese spy to be sent to the United States for a trial. This had never happened before. The story starts with Su Yanjun in an American prison. He is 42 years old. In a courtroom, he met a former spy from the United States, Jim Olsen. Olsen said that both men worked for their countries. But a big difference was that Su Yanjun was caught and Olsen was not. Su Yanjun's case shows how spying happens in modern times. It shows how China tries to get technology from other countries. The United States says that China wants to be the world's strongest country. Getting new technology is a part of this big plan. This is a hidden war. It is hard to know who is winning. But the story of Su Yanjun helps us understand this game. It is a game with big risks for countries and businesses. Many American jobs are at risk. U.S. officials say that America needs to be more active and careful. Catching spies is difficult. Having a trial for them is even harder. In the year 2017, a GE aviation engineer named David Zhang received a message. It was an invitation from a Chinese university. Zhang was working on GE's advanced jet engine. This engine used very special and light materials. China was very interested in this specific technology. This invitation was the start of the events that led to Su Yanjun's capture. 2. An invitation arrives. Su Yanjun was in an American prison. In the month of October, in the year 2021, he sat in a courtroom in Cincinnati, Ohio. Across from him sat Jim Olsen, a retired spy from the United States. Olsen was there to speak for the government. Olsen looked at Su. He spoke about their lives. He said that he and Su were alike in some ways. Both had worked for their countries and thought they were doing good work. Both men had learned how to be spies, called tradecraft. But Olsen told Su there was one big difference. Olsen asked, "What is that difference?" He then answered, "You got caught and I did not." This story, which led to Su and Olsen meeting in court, began in the year 2017. At that time, David Zhang, an engineer for GE Aviation, received a message. It came from a university official in Nanjing, China. It seemed like a simple, harmless message. The message was sent to Zhang through a website for professionals. Zhang could have deleted it, thinking it was not important, but he did not. The message was an invitation to speak at the university about his work. Zhang felt proud. The university offered to pay for his entire trip, including his flight. Zhang could also use this trip to visit his family in China. In 2017, David Zhang was working on GE's newest jet engine. the GE-9X. It was being made for a large airplane. Zhang was part of a very small team, fewer than 10 people, working on this special engine technology. The fan blades for this GE engine were made from a very special composite material. This material made the blades very light and very strong. This gave GE a big advantage. It helped the engine use less fuel. Other companies tried to make similar parts, but only GE had these special blades in use. China was very interested in this specific technology. They wanted to learn about these light and strong materials for jet engines. 3. Playing the game. David Zhang traveled to Nanjing, China in June 2017. He went for the university invitation. The invitation seemed innocent, but it was part of a larger plan. The university was focused on aerospace science, a field very important to China's goals. At GE Aviation, Zhang was working on the company's newest jet engine. This engine was called the GE-9X, and it was being built for Boeing's 777X aircraft. A key part of this engine was its fan blades, which were made from a special composite material. This material made the blades very light and strong, giving GE a great advantage over other companies in terms of weight and fuel efficiency. China was very interested in this specific and advanced technology. During his visit, Zhang met a man who introduced himself as Kuei. This was an alias, a false name used for secret work. The man's real identity was Su Yanjun. Su was a career intelligence officer. He worked for China's main spy service, the Ministry of State Security, known as the MSS. At the time, Su was 36 years old. He held a mid-level officer position within one of the MSS's provincial offices. Zhu began to use spy methods which are called tradecraft. These are techniques spies use to gain trust and get information. He offered to pay for all of Zhang's expenses, including his flight to China and all his costs during the trip. He also flattered Zhang, making him feel important and valued. This initial contact seemed like simple networking, but Su's true goal was much deeper. He was not satisfied with just unclassified discussions or lectures. He wanted to obtain secret business information. His aim was to get into the realm of trade secrets, trying to see what Zhang would be willing to give him. Su was carefully assessing Zhang, hoping to recruit him as an agent for China. Zhang had told his bosses at GE that he was going to China to visit his family, but he did not mention that he would also be giving a presentation at the university. This was against GE's company policy. Furthermore, Zhang took company materials with him to China. These materials were sensitive and required a special license to be taken out of the country. This action was also against company rules. GE and U.S. law enforcement soon discovered details about Zhang's trip and the materials he carried. This discovery led to the start of their investigation, revealing the deeper game Su Yanjun was playing to get valuable technology for China. Su's actions showed he was trying to get secret information, not just have friendly talks. 4. The tables turn. The company David Zhang worked for, soon learned about his trip to China. Zhang had brought company materials with him. This was against the company's rules. These materials were very important and sensitive. To take them outside the country, a special permission was needed. Zhang did not have this permission. After GE found out, U.S. law enforcement, including the FBI, became involved. The FBI met with David Zhang at GE's offices. They talked to him about what happened. After this meeting, Zhang decided to help the FBI. This was a major turning point, changing the direction of the investigation completely. From that moment, the FBI took over Zhang's communication with Su Yanjun. The FBI agents now wrote emails and made phone calls as if they were David Zhang. Su Yanjun still believed that Zhang was working for him. He thought Zhang was on his side, ready to share important company secrets. But Zhang was actually a double agent, secretly working for the FBI. This setup was a classic example of a double agent operation. Su Yanjun was encouraged by the good messages he received. He thought his plan was working well and that he was very close to a big success. He began to test how far Zhang would go to help him. Su started to ask for very specific and secret items. He sent David Zhang a long shopping list of technology he wanted. This list was very detailed. Su had received these requests from other people in China, including various companies and government officials. The wish list included many technical questions. Su asked about the exact types of software programs GE used for its designs. He also wanted to know about the structure and design of the special, lightweight composite material used for the jet engine's fan blades. He was deeply interested in how these fan blades and their strong cases were built. This kind of information was extremely valuable and critical to GE's business advantage. Su also made a very important request. He asked for a laptop directory. This was a special file that would list every single file on Zhang's work computer. These files contained GE's private information, including important trade secrets and research data. It might even hold the secret methods for making the advanced engine blades. Su even sent clear, step-by-step instructions on how to create this directory and send it to him. He explained exactly how to copy the computer's contents. This detailed request showed Su's true goal: to get GE's most important and protected secrets. This kind of instruction made U.S. companies very worried about their security. 5. China's big plan. The spying actions of people like Su Yanjun were part of a much bigger plan for China. This plan aimed to make China a leading country in technology and business around the world. China wanted to make its own commercial airplanes. For example, the C919 airplane is made by a Chinese company called Comac. However, this plane still uses many parts from American or European companies. China has tried to build its own aircraft engines for many years, but it has been difficult to do so successfully. Having its own strong aircraft industry is a very important goal for China's leaders. To reach its goals, China launched a plan in 2015 called Made in China 2025. This plan listed 10 important high-tech industries. China wanted to become a global leader in these areas. The goal was to first supply its own market and then sell to the whole world. These key areas include things like computers, mobile phones, and new ways to power cars. They also include advanced areas such as commercial aircraft, new energy, and special materials for making things. China's leaders believe that if they are not at the top of these industries, they might become weak. They see trade and technology as a big part of a country's power. China has changed from making low-cost goods to wanting to create more advanced products. As wages in China have gone up, making simple, cheap products is no longer enough. China needs to move to higher-value products to keep its economy strong and avoid problems like many people losing their jobs. Because it is hard to develop all this new technology quickly, China sometimes uses other ways to get it. If China cannot create the technology itself, its strategy is to buy it or, in some cases, steal it. The Chinese government uses many parts of its power to get this technology. This includes businesses, universities, government groups, and even the military. Each part works to help China get the technology it needs. United States officials see this as a serious challenge. Senators in the U.S. have told American business leaders about the risks since 2018. They say that national safety today is not just about planes and tanks. It also includes who controls important data, advanced communication, and new discoveries in science. For some, like Su Yanjun, getting this technology means taking big risks. This situation shows how important technology has become in the world's power struggles. 6. Setting the trap. The FBI had a clear goal. They wanted to get Su Yanjun out of China. It was not possible to arrest him in his own country, so they made a plan to make him leave. The FBI sent Su a special document. This document was a fake list of files from David Zhang's work computer. The FBI sent it through Zhang, who was now working as a double agent. When Su received this fake list, his reaction changed a lot. Before, he mostly used emails or messages, but now he tried to call Zhang on the phone. Su was very excited. He thought this was a big step towards a great success. He believed he was close to getting the secret engine parts he wanted from GE Aviation. Su felt very hungry for more information. He was sure this would lead to a promotion for him. The FBI knew they had Su interested. He was now on the hook. Su wanted to meet Zhang again very soon. This was exactly what the FBI hoped for. But Zhang, working for the FBI, sent a message back. He said he was too busy at work. He could not come back to China right then. He told Su that his company was sending him to Europe for some work. This was a way to put the idea of meeting in Europe into Su's mind. At first, Su did not agree to meet in Europe. He did not bite right away. But after he asked for the laptop directory and the FBI sent the fake one, Europe became an option for him. There was some back-and-forth talk about where they would meet. They talked about different places. In the end, they decided to meet in Belgium. The specific city chosen was Brussels. Su believed that Zhang would bring his GE work laptop to this meeting. Su planned to copy all the important information from it, but the U.S. law enforcement had a different plan. They prepared everything to catch Su as soon as he arrived. They worked with local police in Belgium to set the trap. The stage was now set for Su Yanjun to step into the net. 7. The arrest and trial. When Su Yanjun arrived in Brussels, Belgium, he was arrested. An associate was also arrested with him. Police found a phone in Su's possession. This phone had about 200 photos from the GE engineers' social media accounts. Many of these pictures showed the engineer's family. This evidence showed Su's deep interest in the engineer's personal life. It also suggested his plans were not just about business talks. After his arrest, Su was sent to the United States. He faced trial in 2021 in a federal courtroom. During the trial, prosecutors presented their case against him. They argued that Su's actions clearly showed he wanted to steal secret information from GE Aviation. They explained that Su had specifically targeted the engineer who worked with this important technology. He had also given detailed instructions, asking the engineer to bring his whole work laptop. Su had planned to copy the laptop's contents. He arrived in Belgium with cash and pictures of the engineer's family, which further proved his bad intentions and true goal. Zhu made several big mistakes that helped the prosecutors build a strong case. He used an online cloud service, iCloud, to save information from his phone. On this cloud service, investigators found a diary that Su kept in his phone's calendar. This diary showed some of his professional and personal struggles, giving insight into his state of mind. Even more importantly, they found pictures of his cadre application with the Communist Party. This document showed his full work history from college. It detailed his jobs within China's Ministry of State Security, the MSS, where he rose to be a deputy division director. This was like a detailed resume of a Chinese spy, openly showing his role in intelligence. This was seen as a very reckless mistake for a spy. This electronic evidence strongly supported the U.S. government's case. It showed that Su was indeed a spy trying to get secret technology. Prosecutors could show the jury that Su's intent was not innocent. Investigators also found other electronic evidence. This showed that Su had targeted employees at other big companies. These companies included Honeywell, Boeing, and Safran, a French aviation company that also works with GE. Even though prosecutors did not say Su had actually gotten GE's secret information, the evidence of his attempts was strong. His actions proved he was trying to steal trade secrets and commit economic espionage. The trial showed how serious this new kind of spying had become. 8. What we can learn. Zhu Yanjun was found guilty of trying to steal important business secrets. He was convicted on 4 charges related to economic spying and taking trade secrets. In November 2022, Su received a sentence. He was sent to federal prison for 20 years. This showed the serious nature of his crimes. After the trial, China's government spoke about the situation. The Chinese embassy in Washington, D.C. made a statement. They clearly said that China's government has never helped anyone steal commercial secrets. They also said they welcome companies from the U.S. and other countries to do business in China. They believe this helps everyone share economic growth and build a stronger world economy. The engineer, David Zhang, who Su targeted, also faced consequences. He was fired from his job at GE in early 2018. This happened after he cooperated with the FBI. This case shows how difficult it is for the United States to protect its company secrets and valuable technology. U.S. officials believe American businesses must be more careful. Jim Olson, a retired spy, said that America needs to wake up and be more active. He also worried that many foreign spies are still not caught, meaning the threat continues. FBI Director Christopher Wray has spoken about China's goals. He believes China's aim is not just to compete with American companies. He thinks China wants to eliminate American companies from the global market. Experts agree that if China cannot develop new technology itself, its strategy is to get it in other ways, like buying it or stealing it. Senators Mark Warner and Marco Rubio have warned American business leaders about this danger. They say that national security is now about much more than just military power. It includes who controls important things like data flows, advanced wireless communication, satellites, and new scientific fields such as synthetic biology or next-generation energy. If China leads in these areas, the world will have to follow Chinese rules, giving China great power. This situation presents a major long-term challenge for the United States. Jim Olson thinks that U.S. companies and U.S. counterintelligence must form a strong partnership. He believes that America's values and its free market system can win this challenge. However, he stressed that the country must not stop working hard. Stopping this kind of economic spying is a continuous effort. It needs constant attention and close cooperation to protect American jobs, new ideas, and national safety.